So I guess the first question I have is, if Brett Kavanaugh is confirmed and goes in the Supreme Court, do you think it's a done deal that Roe against Wade gets overturned?
Well, I mean, we take the president at his word, and then we also know that Brett Kavanaugh has a record on these issues, and so it's very disturbing. I mean, we are all out on this fight, and I think the American people are with us, so we think there is a pathway to block this confirmation, but obviously we're highly concerned that the entire country could be subject to what we're seeing in so many states right now, where abortion is essentially out of reach of most women.
But that perhaps answers my question. Is your hope of holding on to Roe against Wade tied up with blocking this nomination? Do you have to block this one?
Absolutely. I mean, I do think we do. The president was the first major party nominee who went on to be president, who put a litmus test on Supreme Court justices. And I think that's crucial for your viewers to understand, because it means what Senator Tillis said about this judge is qualified. Previously, qualification has been about their credentials, or, what Governor Barbour said about the left would oppose anyone. This is actually not a left versus right fight. This is about a president who changed the rules of the game when he put a litmus test on a Supreme Court justice. And the American people, therefore, have high anxiety that our fundamental freedoms and rights are at stake. And I think that is why we've seen such an outpouring of energy to block Justice Kavanaugh from ascending to the highest court in the land.
And yet some of the other candidates on President Trump's list had even more controversial writings on abortion. So what makes you think that the next nominee will be any better?
You know, we get that question a lot, and I think it is because what we've seen is where the American people have stood up and the senators have done their jobs and listened to their constituents. We have gotten more fair-minded justices because we have to have enough senators and the American people on board, or else we lose the crucial credibility of the court. So when Robert Bork was blocked, we got Justice Kennedy. And even in this administration, when, Pudzer went down for his cabinet position, we got Azar. Now, I don't agree with everything Azar has to say, but he's certainly a better person in that position than Pudzer. So I don't think that that is a talking point that the American people will accept, or that we should not demand what's best for the court and best for the country.
Is there anything that can be done for you to drop your opposition to Judge Kavanaugh?
I have to say there might have been with some of the others, but Kavanaugh, he really did in his testimony for circuit court claim that he believed in the precedent in Roe, and then some of his subsequent decisions where he broke from his circuit court have proven otherwise. He's proven to be in opposition to the abortion rights of a young undocumented woman, Jane Doe, that the Trump administration was holding against her will. He's proven hostile to contraception and the ACA debate. So I think the flags are just there. And I think that's why we're seeing, Americans from across the political spectrum come out with a lot of anxiety and a lot of opposition to this nominee. The Kaiser Family Foundation just did a poll last month that showed that 71% of independents, self-described independents in this country, really want to preserve the rights in Roe. And that's because Roe is about abortion, but it's about more than abortion. It's about keeping the government from intervening in our most personal decisions. And that has broad-ranging ramifications for every family in this country.
So finally, if in fact defeating this confirmation is essential to keeping Roe against Wade on the books as good law, does that mean it's all done to Susan Collins? Because she's the senator who's come out and said, if I think they're not going to uphold Roe against Wade, I won't vote for them.
Well, look, if the Democrats maintain a united front, Mitch McConnell cannot lose a single senator. And I think Senator Collins has been the most on the record. But I think we have to look at Senator Murkowski, and I think we have to expand to Senator Heller, who is in a hugely pro-choice libertarian state and up for re-election in 2018, and even Senator Gardner, who will be up for re-election after this court starts to hand down decisions.